Good evening, everybody. We're going to talk about how your phone disrupts your sleep. Before I start, I have one simple question. Raise your hand if you ever pick up your phone right before you go to sleep. If you raise your hand, you're not alone because most people do it. Most people pick up their phones one last time, then 20, 30 minutes later, and an hour later, and they look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. You start to think to yourself, if I go to sleep right now, I get 3 or 4 hours of sleep. This starts with one small act of our phone, using our phones before we go to bed. And then boom, it's an addiction. Let's talk about what really goes on behind our bodies. Melatonin is a hormone that is released in our bodies that tells us when you go to sleep. This process usually happens when the sun goes down. But when your phone is in your hand and the blue light is reaching your eyes, it tricks your mind into thinking that it's still daylight outside. A 2014 Harvard study found that the exposure to a blue light for as small as 6.5 hours can shift the circadian rhythms over time, over 3 hours, and reduce melatonin levels significantly. If you can reduce your screen time to at least an hour to 2 hours before going to bed, it can change the cycle, or may use blue light glasses as well. Mental health from our phones can also be affected, as it keeps the brain active when you should be winding down to go to sleep. Just like texting, social media, video games, and any kind of reward system that causes the brain to release dopamine and delays the transition for us to go to sleep or to get tired. Often people have stated that it takes them a whole lot longer to fall asleep after they have been on their devices with emotional/interactive content in them. We know how devices before bed can affect our sleep, but why is it so important to us? Why do we have to have sleep? What's the point? Sleep is the only way that our body can recover. It helps very much with memory, focus, mood, especially, and even our immune system. If our bodies don't get enough sleep, or if our sleep schedule is commonly interrupted, our health can suffer. With that, we can be depressed, groggy, anxious, and even more of obesity and diabetes. So what does the research say? Well, in 2017, a study was found that most people who are on their phones a lot in the evenings sleep worse over time. According to the National Sleep Foundation, around 90% of teens with their phones next to them often awake just to check notifications. And even another study from the University of California showed that students who use their devices before bed not only have bad sleep, but also lower their academic performances. So what do? How can we fix it? Well, here are a few changes that can help. You can start off by not using your phone 30 to 60 minutes before bed. You can also use a night mode on your device or even blue light glasses in the evenings to help. Or even maybe setting a bedtime routine if that's listening to music or meditating or reading, anything that doesn't involve a screen. You can keep your phone across the room so that you are not tempted to late night scroll. This isn't about giving up your phone and your social life, but it's restrictions so it can better your life and you can have a better outcome. Changing your bedtime routines of the amount of attention to phone usage can affect our overall health in a positive way. This promotes a better night's sleep and improves the quality of sleep in a positive way. The reduction of sleep disturbance, a digital detox may be necessary to help maintaining and limiting usage of developing new habits. In closing, our phone is robbing us of good sleep and mental health. Try it yourself. Instead of sitting and scrolling for hours, turn your phone off and winding down in different ways. I hope that people can try and do this, especially that our phones have taken a big part of our lives. It's really sad to see what is happening, and even if we set our phone down and try to redo things, maybe we can come up with a way to get better sleep. I often think about what could happen if most people in the world decide to set restrictions. What could happen if we only had 2 or 3 hours on our phones and we kind of went back to the old ways of how we used to do things. Thank you for my speech. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here today, and maybe think to yourself what I can do to better sleep my schedule and stay off my phone before bed. Maybe your sleep schedule can be a lot better. Thank you for your time.